Ooh, we waited for these. Oh, we waited for these. Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you're new around here, my name is Aidan, and in today's review we will be taking a look at my very first pickup of 2023. So in today's review we will be breaking down the Nike Air Max 1 in the Orange Magma colourway. When I ordered these, it was intended to be my final pickup of 2022, but thanks to Every deciding just to not deliver the shoes, we had to order them again. So even though we are a little bit late to the party, I'm very excited to be showing this one. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So just like we always do before we get into the shoes, let's just start this off with the packaging. And as always, when it does come to our Air Max pickups, we just get that run-of-the-mill red Nike sportswear box. Now, if we do take a quick look at the label, which reads, we have the women's Nike Air Max 1 in the light bone and magma orange colourway. And this is a personal pair, as it is a UK size 9. Now, definitely peep the size label because it does have some vital information on there in regards to sizing. We will also be touching on sizing later on in the video as well, so, stay tuned for that. And then as we do open up the box itself, on the inside, we just have that run-of-the-mill ordinary sports, tissue paper, the same that you get with every single one of these boxes. And then underneath that, here we have what we came for. So let's go ahead and get straight into the shoes. So without any further ado, the moment we've all been waiting for, in hand we have the women's Nike Air Max 1 in the Orange Magma colourway. Now I do just want to say off the bat, initially when I first saw these, I really wasn't feeling them and I really didn't feel like I was going to actually add them into the personal collection. It wasn't because I didn't like the colourway or the design details of it. It was more so because I felt like the colourway was a little bit too similar to what we saw with the pattern Monarchs. And because I had them already, I really didn't feel like I had to have these. The closer we got to the release date and the more on-feet shots I saw, the more I was convinced that, you know what, I was wrong and I'm going to hold my hands up, and I definitely wanted to get these for the personal collection. I almost figured, due to some of the details on this shoe and because of how different it is to every other Air Max one we've seen all of 2022, I almost figured that this shoe was going to sell out. But even as I'm sat here right now doing this review for you guys, these are sitting absolutely everywhere. Maybe it's because of Christmas, maybe it's because of oversaturation with the Air Max 1, but either which way, these are actually very easy to get. Now for me, I did have to order 3 different pairs. The first ones we ordered actually were lost or stolen on Christmas Eve, which of course didn't feel very Christmassy for me. And then the second pair that we got just after New Year's, the quality control on them was a complete joke. Not even going to get into it. We ended up just having to return those, but fortunately enough, because they were sitting, I was able to get these from Foot Patrol once again. Even managed to snag a cheeky discount on these, so I was very glad to get them. And also get them under retail, which you can never really complain about.
Shut up and take my money!
Now, because these are actually sitting on pretty much every major retailer right now, if you are tuning into this video to decide if this is something that you should be adding to your collection as well, in this review, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know, from materials through to sizing, so by the end of this video, you can decide for yourself whether this is something you're going to add to your collection as well. So just diving straight into this one, starting out with the upper to begin with, and for this one we do have quite potentially the most highly controversial Air Max 1 colourway to have released all of 2022, and we'll get into the reason as to why that is as we work our way throughout the review. But for now, if we kick this off from the front of the shoe and then we'll gradually work our way back. So at the base of the shoe we do have your pretty typical run-of-the-mill white mesh material making up the toe box, which is then nicely accented with this orange magma mudguard, which is present throughout the entire lower third. Now this isn't your regular ordinary mudguard that we see with pretty much every other Air Max 1. This has actually been sectioned off into individual textures. So around the toe box and throughout other areas of the mudguard, we do have a really nice snakeskin design. We do also have a little bit of section of canvas, and of course we have the iconic safari print on there as well. Now this isn't too dissimilar to what we may have seen previously with the Masters. I'm saying that loosely because I know a lot of people don't really like that association between this shoe and the Masters. Now if you are an avid Air Max 1 collector, I can completely appreciate why you may not be feeling these as much as a lot of other people are. I've seen a lot of split opinions about this shoe. Some people seem to love it, a lot of people seem to hate it, and I do realise that quite a few people actually got in the feelings about these, which I did in some cases find a little bit funny, to be completely honest. So as soon as I actually started to take a look at these a lot closer than just, oh, it's an orange mudguard and it's similar to the Monarchs, and I actually started to look at the intricacies of the details, I fell absolutely in love with this shoe. I just think it sets this shoe off. I think it looks absolutely incredible in person, and just feeling all the individual textures from that snakeskin to the canvas to the safari, I think it just makes this shoe absolutely iconic and instant classic in my opinion. Whether you hate it or love it, completely let me know in the comment section down below. Argue it amongst yourself. But for me personally, I absolutely love this detail. Another detail about the mudguard that I absolutely love as well is the fact that we do also have a mini swoosh feature on the lateral side. If you know me, you know I love the mini swoosh, so that was always going to be highly appreciated. But as we then continue to work our way back even further, on both the U-throw as well as in the quarter midfoot panel, we do have this grey rough suede. Could even be nubuck, don't hold me to it, I will be honest, I'm not 100% sure. In the middle of the midfoot, we then have that really nice and vibrant orange magma coloured safari Nike swoosh, and that is the same on both the lateral and medial sides of the shoe as well. As we then work our way onto the ankle collar, starting with the top eye stays to begin with, we do have these orange coloured TPU eye stays with this really nice suede detailing wrapping all the way around. And as we reach the ankle collar, just like what we saw with the toe box, we do have more of that white mesh material, just like what we saw on the toe box itself. As we then reach the heel, again it is more of the same, so we have the white mesh detailing at the very top, we have more of that really nice safari print around the heel, and then in the middle we do have that suede detailing with that orange magma coloured Nike Air branding. Very glad they went with Nike Air instead of Nike Air Max, absolutely love that detail. And then when it does come to the lacing options for this one, fortunately enough we do actually get a few different options. Now the laces you get in the shoe to begin with are just your run-of-the-mill flat shoelaces, but if you're not feeling how they look, you do also get an additional set of orange magma laces as well. Personally, I feel like it's a little bit too on the nose for me. Just feel like it's a little bit too much orange. So for the time being, I'm just going to plug the laces away. You never know when I might need them for a future release. And as for this shoe, I'm just going to leave the laces as they are. I think they're doing just fine. Now the laces themselves do sit atop a white nylon tongue at the base, and at the top of the tongue itself we do have that white tongue tag with the Nike Air Max branding on there as well, featured in orange. And as we then work our way onto the inside of the shoe, we just have your pretty standard white cotton sock liner. If you've ever owned a pair of Air Max 1 before, you probably should have a good understanding of how they feel on feet and how much padding there is with the shoe itself. If you haven't, there is a decent amount of padding. I personally find these very comfortable for all day wear, never had an issue personally. So if you're just looking for that everyday runner, definitely can't go wrong with these. And as we then work our way onto the inside of the shoe, again, it's slightly more of the same, as we do have that all white colour featured on the insole, and it does also feature that orange Air Max branding on there as well. And then just to close that in terms of the details, as we then work our way down to the midsole, we do have your polyurethane midsole with that visible air unit towards the heel, and it has been painted in this really nice sail colour to kind of add an age distressed look to the shoe. As we then work our way onto the outsole, we do have, for me, one of my favourite details, as we do have your waffle style of outsole, and it has been done in a really nice colour combination of orange, burgundy, and a little bit of sail as well. Very, very nice in my opinion. Now, when it does come to the sizing options for these, I'm going to suggest you just go with your natural true to size fit. As I said a little bit earlier on, I went true to size with a UK size 9. They fit exactly the same as any other Air Max 1, so that's what I'm going to suggest that you guys do as well. If you are a little bit confused in terms of how the sizing conversion works from men's and women's sizing, I can give you a couple of examples. So for example, if you are in the UK and you are a UK size 7, just go with a UK size 7 women's. They fit exactly the same, there's no real difference. Example, this is a UK size 9 women's, I'm a UK size 9 men's, no issue for me whatsoever. It does get a little bit trickier when you do go further afield, so if you do live in the United States, there is a 2.5 size difference. So for example, again, UK size 9, this is a US 11.5. So if you are a UK size 7, get a US 9.5. So just make sure you are getting the correct size conversion. If you have any questions or any concerns about it, let me know in the comments and I will try and help as many people as possible. But there is plenty of information online, so hopefully you won't make that mistake. I will be honest, I've ordered a pair of shoes from America before, got the wrong size, and it's a little bit unfortunate, so don't make that mistake for yourself. Any questions, do let me know in the comments. And then other than that, we've covered everything that you need to know from materials through to sizing. So if we now just go ahead and just wrap up this video. So just to wrap up this video so you guys can get out of here, in terms of overall opinion on the shoe itself, to give these a rating, I'm going to say that these are very easily a solid 8 out of 10 for me. A lot to love about this shoe, a lot to dislike about the shoe if you're really not feeling it, but for me personally, I was really glad to add these into the collection. I love the intricacies of the mudguard in particular, and how it incorporates snakeskin, safari, canvas, and then how it combines with that sail midsole. I think in person, it looks so much better than what we saw with the pictures, so I was really glad to be able to get these in the collection. Now, I will point out once again that the quality control is a little bit iffy on these, so if you can see the pair in person, if you're picking them up from a retailer, I would highly recommend that you do that just to make sure you are getting the best possible pair for yourself. As I said earlier, I had to send one back because it was a complete mess, so kind of make of that what you will. I did also quickly want to give you a little bit of a comparison with the Monarchs as well, for anyone who's maybe on the fence about having them both. I think as you can see very clearly, they are very, very different. Not just in terms of the overall colorway design, because of course this is actually a lot brighter than the Monarchs. Didn't really realize that based off the pictures. The actual mudguard's different as well. The shape of the toe box is different, if you're able to see that. There are definitely enough differences from each of these shoes to feel like I actually do need both of them in the collection. Some people might not feel the same way, but I'm definitely glad to have both. I feel like I'll definitely treasure this one more highly and keep this one for more special occasions. But I do feel like this is definitely going to get a lot of love and a lot of work from me over summer. So again, really, really glad to have both of them. I would love to get your guys' opinion on it as well, so do let me know what you think of my rating. Let me know what your rating is as well, and any of your other thoughts, do make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And if you have stuck around to this point in the video, as always, I just want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. Peace.